Hey, what's up guys, just Boost here and welcome back to another Digimon video. Today I have another match from locals between two very interesting decks, both from EX3. On the left we have Stefan playing 4 Great Dragons, I guess you want to call it, the new yellow deck. And then on the right we have red-purple Imperialdramon, which is also of course very exciting deck. I don't think I've shown either of these decks on the channel, so yeah, pretty fun to check that out. Miss Memory Boost here, accidentally mills 3, but of course it's mill 2 and then draw 1, but doesn't impact the game too much. And fun fact, we'll definitely be seeing some rather old school cards in the left player's deck. But I won't spoil that too much yet, but there's definitely some cool cards he's playing. And here we see TK come down, adding, I think it's Imperialdramon. Shout out to the player on the right, Thomas, his epic Jurassic Park Christmas sweater. But yeah, he's going to promote the Gabumon here, pop the boost, go to 3, and then yeah, Exodia go into Icemon. So at this point he should have won the game right, as it is usually with purple decks. Unless Icemon has jamming, of course. And then he does the draw from the Gabumon inheritable, and the Icemon actually does die, so he's going to draw 3, and then discard 2, and he already discarded 1 from the Gabumon as well. And that's one of the focal points of the deck, right? You really, it's kind of a little bit of a weird deck because you need both your grave setup with all your other pieces, and then you need all the remaining pieces you need in the hand. However, it is quite efficient at doing that because of cards like this, like the Wormon. I think he pitches the Imperialdramon here to the trash, which means that he will have to go up into the Dino Beam online to do the play essentially. But yeah, we see Stefan here going into the Vidramon, which I think adds something like a Great Dragon and an Angel card, or not Angel, but like one of those types, of course, Seraphim, yada yada. And TK adding the Trial of the Great Dragons to the hand here, which is basically, it's the card that the entire 4 Great Dragons deck revolves around. Like, without that card, the deck literally, it doesn't do anything. However, once you can loop that card, you can basically play out a level 6 each turn, which is quite strong. Not all of them have Rush though, but they do have quite good effects. Like Magidramon gets to lead the Digimon, Magdadramon gives like the blanket minus security effect. Azulumon gives you 2 draws and 2 memory, I think, so you know, it helps you set up your turn even more. And then I think like when they get the lead or something, you can play the trial from the hand as well. And as you see, you can also consistently play out the trial for free, sort of, with Angel Woman and the Arrow Vidramon. And then Angel Woman also gives minus DP, which is how it deletes the Wormon here. So actually, yeah, Endlock Youth also a very interesting card that I see played here, because Goldramon essentially can do a really powerful game push, where if it attacks you can shuffle back Magidramon, Magdadramon and Azulongmon to trash the top 2 security of your opponent, and give minus 6,000 on attack, which is quite strong. And Endlock Youth helps you set up that really well, like it's both a consistency card for your hand as well as the trash, which is nice. And of course we also see the right deck making use of Endlock Youth in the same way, because again you also need the trash setup. So yeah, that card is it's just perfect for yeah, mostly for the red purple Imperialdramon, but I definitely see the use for it in the dragon deck as well. So yeah, we see Azulumon come down, and because it's played by the trial, you get like the memory and the draws. And then the Angel Woman again gets into the DP reduction, because 4 Great Dragon card is played. It gets rid of the Vmon, so yeah, the board of Stefan is looking starting to look pretty wide here. Again, Vidramon Surge, get the trial, and I just missed the other search, but Azulumon is going to swing, hit into a Gabumon. And then yeah, we see Arrow Vidramon here, which is going to yeah, play out the trial. And it's also blocker, And I think Inheritable, it makes like all your 4 Great Dragons blocker as well, or something like that. I did play some matches against this deck, so I'm like sort of familiar with the effects. But yeah, we see another Endlock Youth come down. Do even more setup. And he picks up the Agumon there, and trashes the Gatomon and Angelmon, I think. But yeah, at this point, this is where potentially the Imperialdramon deck could go off, because if you could play down a Vmon or a Wormmon and then go into Shademon or Flamedramon, then essentially he could do the combo here, because I think he does have the pieces in Grave. So yeah, we do see him go into Shademon, which now if he has a Flamedramon, he can evolve into that from the trash. Yeah, so he has it. And then he can DNA Digivolve at the end of turn into Imperialdramon or Dynamon. We'll see which one it will be, and then he can get the other one from trash. So he goes into Dynamon here, and if he has the Pyudramon in trash, which I think we know he has, he can play it for free, and again, use the Inheritable to evolve, DNA Evolve into Imperialdramon Dragon Mode here. Which is going to blow up the entire field except for itself. And now I think he can go like attack and then evolve into the fire mode as well. So yeah, he's going to do that, and he can evolve. He can attack into the opponent's Digimon because of Dino Beast Inheritable, I think. So yeah, he goes into the fire mode, and this card is extremely strong because it has like a super unique effect where it doesn't trigger any security effects. So not just options, but Tamers and Digimon don't trigger either when this card swings. And he does piercing, I'm pretty sure. So he's going to do 3 checks here because of the tie as well. So and he does hit into Endlock Youth and Godflame. So definitely a very strong player. And the effect where it doesn't trigger any effects coming in pretty clutch. However, of course, Stefan does still have the Trial of the Great Dragons, and he is going to be able to bring out the Magidramon, which is can trash or delete a level 6 because it was played by Trial. However, the Imperialdramon also has this pretty cool floating effect where it can float into the Vmon and into the Wormmon, and basically this. This forces Stefan to have to deal with both the Digimon now, because he has only 1 security left, so he will have to get rid of one of the Digimon at least. The Endlock Youth also being triggered, of course, to gain that additional memory. Stefan going to the Gatomon here. I guess it would also work if he gets Arrow Vidramon, because again that's is a blocker, which would also definitely work. Go to Vidramon there. So we definitely need to play something to out one of the Digimon or the blocker now. And if he doesn't have it, that should be the game. But apparently he doesn't have it. Goes into the Gatomon here. Doesn't even hit anything with the Gatomon. And that should be the game, unless Godflame is in the security of Stefan, I guess. But we'll find out in a minute. Yeah, Tom's just gonna swing here. It's not Godflame, and that means that this is that's the game for Red Purple Imperialdramon. It did do the thing, which is very cool, very fun to see. Wouldn't say like it totally overwhelmed the Great Dragon deck though. Seemed like a pretty fair fight. So who knows? Maybe we'll see the 4 Great Dragons, you know, run it back and win the match 2-1 anyway. So yeah, Patamon, the old one, which is the one that says like when a Digimon's lead by a DP reduction, gain 1 memory. Very very old school card. Kind of crazy to think this game is already about 2 years old now. And so is that Patamon. And he once again goes for the TK. I'm never a super big fan of playing, like when you go first playing the memory tamer, because you do give your opponent a lot of memory, and like it will allow your opponent to do stuff like this, where they first play Endlock Youth or something like that, and then, or like a memory boost, so they can dig to the perfect rookie as well to go into raising. Like, of course, it doesn't matter that much, and it is a very strong play, but because it does guarantee you 3 memory at the start of your turn, every turn from that point on. But yeah, Tom's actually going to play hard play Shadramon here, which is interesting, but maybe it was the most efficient way to put Stefan to 3. I assume that's why he decided to go for that. Stefan goes into Patamon, and then Analog Youth, which adds Agumon to his hand, I think. Now potentially Thomas could go, like, if he does have perfect setup, he could go into Flamedramon and then evolve yada yada, but I don't think he has enough trash setup, right, to do the thing. So wouldn't be ideal, I think. Instead he just swings with Shadramon, which is fair enough, which hits into Analog Youth, which adds Goldramon to Stefan's hand. He does have the Flamedramon, but like I said, he does need a trash setup, right? To do the entire combo, and he has like 1 card in trash or 2, so yeah, 2 because of the Analog Youth. So even though he did have the pieces, like the piece in hand, he did miss the pieces in trash, which is what I talked about earlier. So yeah, the deck does require quite a bit of setup to do the play, and even though the play is very powerful, game winning even, you do need both pieces in the hand and trash to be perfectly lined up to do it. And yeah, if you don't have it, as you can see, even if you do just have the hand pieces, it's not enough to do the perfect play. He's going to move out the Flamedramon here. Stefan already having the trial set up, so like basically from this point on he can start playing the game. Okay, that's pretty cool. So he evolves into Dino Beamon, and now he can use the inheritable to go into the Imperialdramon Dragon mode, which is nice. I guess you don't technically need the pieces in trash. And then he goes Blitz into the Angel Woman after having deleted all the one. And he actually also has the fighter mode. So that's nice that he's going to do piercing here over the Angel Woman, I'm pretty sure. And hit into a Gatomon. So I guess I take it back. Yeah, I guess you don't really need the pieces in trash. If you do somehow set this up, then this works as well. Even though we have to admit, like, if you don't do this play against like a super wide field, it's kind of underwhelming. Even though the floating effect of the Imperialdramon is pretty strong, right? But yeah, Uzurumon coming down here. Gain 2 memory, draw 2 cards. In the raising, we see Angel Woman being built up because the Imperialdramon push, it does give a lot of memory to your opponent. Do we actually see me hard play the trial here? That's pretty funny. I don't think you see that very often in this deck. I think like it's for 8 cost. It's like draw 1 card, so not the strongest effect on play, to say the least. But yeah, you do need it set up for the next turn. And then he's going to swing over the Azumarill with piercing and hit it to Godflame. Gives 6,000 to minus 6,000 to the Imperialdramon, which isn't relevant, but you can add back a 4 Great Dragon cards, and I think he added back the trial with the Godflame. It is looking pretty good here for Imperial, I feel, though. He can just go a little bit wide and then threaten game next turn, I feel. Even though we do know, I think Stefan has Goldramon in hand, so he can definitely out the Imperialdramon next turn with the Goldramon. Because he already has level 5 setup, right? So you can go to Goldramon, which also does DP reduction, so you can easily run over the Imperial. Okay, so this is what I was talking about, like a cool attack from all the way from the first set, I think. Because this Magna-Dramon is also actually a 4 Great Dragons, so you can just play it out with the trial and do the, you know, if you have 3 or less security, do the recovery +2. Which, if you do it for free, is definitely pretty strong. I definitely like this deck in the deck. And yeah, like I said, we see Goldramon come down there, which is definitely going to do a number on Thomas's field. So we see something being added to the hand. for Goldramons. Like, does he have an evolve effect? I'm not sure, probably. But yeah, we're going to see it swing at the Imperial. And he uses the DP reduction effect here to get rid of the Icemon. So now first Icemon is going to resolve its entire effect, of course, before the attack gets rid of the Imperial, which it does here. And now the Imperial is going to bring out Vmon and Wormmon. And also gain 1 memory from the Analog Youth, which is actually really strong here, because it means that it will now be Thomas's turn. So, I would assume he has quite a bit of trash setup at this point. Especially after he's going to resolve the Wormmon and the Vmon as well. So, potentially he can just clear the entire field again on... I don't think he will be able to do that, because he has only 1 memory, right? And I think he needs to, basically, to do that. So, that's a little bit unfortunate for Thomas. And play out quite well by Stefan. Maybe it was even worth it to just allow Stefan to keep turn. So that hopefully he wouldn't have a way to put Thomas to 1. And I don't think there would be. So he would be able to do the entire combo on his turn. So not tap the Analog Youth. Even though I do understand it's very tempting to do it. But yeah, I'm not sure. Like maybe. I don't know. Oh, right, it doesn't even matter anyway, because he can just do this, yeah. My bad. And now, if he does have all the pieces lined up, which I assume he has, then it's definitely looking like it's going to be Thomas's game. Because now he can bring out the Imperialdramon. And then if he has the entire line in hand, he can just do the thing again. But there is no Imperialdramon. Alright, so yeah, no Imperialdramon shenanigans there. Another old school card, by the way, being hedged by Stefan, which is the Tokomon from the first yellow structure deck. But yeah, this is so unfortunate, right? I mean, I have to kind of assume that Thomas also thought he did have the Imperialdramon in trash. His deck is super tiny at this point. His trash is literally bigger, so kind of unfortunate that actually it wasn't there. Alright, so here Goldramon did minus 6,000 on the Dino Beamon, and then because of the inheritable of Angelman, I think he gets to minus again when playing the trial, which deletes the Dino Beamon, and all of a sudden it's like looking really good for the Great Dragons again. But you know, maybe he can do the setup now and then again do the thing. Who knows? Who knows? Because the red-purple Imperialdramon deck is very explosive, so we might definitely see it go off anyway. Another Analog Youth. Is he digging for the Imperialdramon? Might be. And we do see it. We see it here now. So, and we do know for a fact he has Dino Beamon in his trash. So, actually opts to add the Gabumon to hand though. So I guess he has another Dino Beam in hand, probably. We'll find out right about now. Going to go to the Shadramon. His deck is becoming mighty tiny though. Yeah, I think they're looking like how many cards are in the deck. Definitely not a lot. Which I guess is definitely a win condition as well. Oh, he already had the Imperialdramon at this point. Okay. So it's going to bring out the Dino Beamon. Then go into the Dragon mode once again. I assume. Yeah. And now, does he have it? He does have it. Yeah. Fair enough. Doing a little look how many cards are in the deck. There are 4, I think. And then he does piercing with security attack +1, not triggering anything, but he doesn't hit anything either. So definitely, like, if the Imperialdramon gets outed, which it does here, then it's going to be so hard for Thomas to win, because he literally just can't build up, right? Because building up your stack requires you drawing cards, and definitely think he doesn't want to do that at this point. And, ooh, I wonder, are those, like, the effects of those guys, are they mandatory? Because if they are, that's not gonna be very good. So the Angel is actually going to delete the Wormmon here, but then he does still get the fuel effect. And Stefan does get a memory from the Patamon here as well. And yeah, I assume here that the fuel effect is mandatory because we do see Thomas use it, and I don't think he would do that if it wasn't mandatory. Imperialdramon going to swing now. There's a rush. And it actually hits into the Endlock Youth, right? And that's, I think that's gonna be game right there. Yeah, it is. And that's actually going to be the match as well, because by this moment they were in overtime. So yeah, it actually ends in 1-1. Not a very exciting ending for the match, I guess. Even though this last game ended in a really funny way. Yeah, GG.